The problem with the left right-wing violence thing is that the left is a cult where as long as you adhere to their social order, you're leftist and everyone else is right-wing. So when they say like the right wing is more violent, it's like, dude, you're comparing like some Bitcoin libertarian tech guy in San Francisco and claiming he is part of the same ideological faction as a shaved head tattooed neo-Nazi who lives in the wilderness of Appalachia. Like two completely different worldviews with no relation whatsoever. And you're like right-wing violence. I'm like, yeah, you can't compare these two people. Like a middle-aged, overweight, day laboring Trump supporter who wants to watch a game of football and order a slice of pizza, votes for Trump and is called right-wing, and then they say, you're violent because some unhinged racist guy killed someone in a church. And it's like, but this guy doesn't share any values with that other guy. The left, specifically, these people all have an overlapping adherence to their social orthodoxy. That's what we'll criticize.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point. The fact that the left is defined as narrowly as possible when the left is talking about left-wing violence, and the right is defined as broadly as possible.
And Antifa is by design. You know, if you walk up to somebody at a protest and you're like, yo, are you Antifa? They're not going to say yes.
Yep.
So it's by design, you know, a flat hierarchy similar to like the terrorist cells that operate around the world. And, you know, it's easy to, you know, like spot a Proud Boy because they're proud.
And Democrats. Right, so I've been on the ground and I've seen these black bloc types. We call them Antifa. They have different views. They do. But they fight together. Yeah. So it's like when you see a tanky, you know, like a communist Soviet style, like we should control everything. And then you see a radical, you know, they call themselves anarchists, but they're not. They're extremely violent. But they don't. They'll tell you, oh, we don't like the tankies. We don't like the communists. And I'm like, you are wearing the same clothes as them, standing next to them and fighting together. Yeah, bro, you're not gonna pull a fast one on me. I'm sorry, dude. Like you guys fight together. You can argue all day and night. But once again, they try to make that claim that some like anarcho-capitalist tech guy who buys a bunch of Bitcoin is comparable to a neo-Nazi. They're two completely distinct things.
Yeah. My complaint is that they called me a cult. I'm in a cult, right? But no one eats the right more than the right. We bury each other on a daily basis. We call each other out. We're honest. We actually have our convictions and we speak about them.
Yeah, the whole
look at the whole the H-1B thing.
Yeah, I mean that was everybody was, you know, decrying like, oh, like, you know, this is the right is eating itself, like you said, but I view that as actually having a conversation about immigration that has been, you know, tabled for 30 years.
But it wasn't even the right, really. It was the disaffected liberals who joined MAGA, many of them arguing with MAGA. MAGA has always been immigration critical to a great degree. Like Milo tweeted out 20-year moratorium on immigration. And I'm like, yeah, I've heard that from a lot of Trump supporters. Yeah. That's not surprising. And then it's the Elon types who were former liberals who voted for Trump because of wokeness who are saying, no, we're for H-1B. And it's like, right, this is now the reckoning between the disaffected liberal types and the conservatives.
I don't want to play world police. I don't want to play World Bank. And I definitely don't want to play World Refugee Camp. And my thought has always been, get your house in order. And until our house is in order, maybe we stop playing World Refugee Camp.
Yeah, my view, it's really funny because there's like this meme going around that said, I'd like to find it, Team Elon and Team USA. And they put me in Team Elon. And I'm like, I'm telling you guys, a lot of it was bot farming, was a bot attack. And people got mad at me for saying that the censorship attacks against Elon appeared to be an op. And I'm not wrong. I'm not saying there's no real sentiment against him, but people who are really stupid can't understand this. So like all these like people on X start tweeting at me being like, oh, you're wrong. It's not an op. I actually believe this. And I'm like, dude, when there's an opinion that exists, of course, there are people who actually believe it. When bot accounts start tweeting generic racist things that kill the argument against H-1B, it looks like an op. And so me coming out and saying it looks like an op, the bot farms instantly put me in the Elon camp, despite my opinion on H-1B being, yeah, we should suspend it and reform it because it's broken. But they don't know how to address that because they're not real people.
Well, it's nuance. That's a tough thing, you know.
AI can't handle it.
Well, plus like nowadays, you know, like what even is, because like I'm pro free speech and anti-war. That would have made me a left winger 15 years ago. But now, you know, as the sands are shifting, as the paradigm is shifting, the definition of what these boxes are is completely changing. Like I
Left and
I
right
ain't
are-
no neocon, I'll tell you that.
Left and right are easily defined. The right is anybody who watches the news and has a general understanding of what's happening, and the left is people who either know or don't, but either way just adhere to their social orthodoxy. Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.